The wait is almost over. It's the 2023 African Cup of Nations. It's the 34th edition to be held in Cote d'Ivoire. And welcome to Citi TV. This is our AFCON Daily Show. My name is Gabi Ofer, and this is the place to be for all the updates, the juice that will be dropping from Cote d'Ivoire, previews, reviews, top-notch analysis. This is the only place to be. AFCON Daily Show on Citi TV. My guests are here. The tournament is actually kicking off later tomorrow, all the way to February 11. So you have to join us from now all the way to February 11. We've got a lot of updates, all the updates you want to hear, build up to the Black Stars game against Cape Verde later on Sunday. Everything right here for you. We'll take a quick break. When I come back, I'll introduce my guest. This is the AFCON Daily Show on Citi TV. All right, welcome back. My name again is Gabi Ofer, and this is the AFCON Daily Show on Citi TV. It's the very first episode, the very first edition. I've got you right here covered. All the updates here are right here on Citi TV. My guests are here. Yahweh Jamington, the Citi Sports Desk, and Bernard Abeku Oshi. Welcome, guys. I mean, good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too. Good to see you too.
How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay. Let me just take your initial thoughts on, the tournament is kicking off later tomorrow. After all the chatter, after all the drama, after everything, ever since CAF announced that Cote d'Ivoire will be the host nation to host this year's edition. I mean, what have you been picking up? What are your biggest highlights so far? Let me start off with you,
Yeah. Highlights, I will start on the theme of what this means to Cote d'Ivoire and what this AFCON could potentially get Cote d'Ivoire to do in the coming years. For starters, this tournament means so much to Cote d'Ivoire because 11 years ago they were engulfed in a civil war.
Yeah.
And so to have this AFCON come in, I think it's a perfect moment for them to continue to crystallize that peace that they've had over the past decade. And I think this AFCON has come a bit too late. I think it had to come a bit earlier. To speed up the process of healing, to speed up the process of peacemaking in Cote d'Ivoire. But all the same, it's never too late. And finally, it's here. And one of the stadiums is called the Peace Stadium in Bouaké. And in Bouaké was the stronghold of the rebel group that led that civil war. And so to have this tournament come in at this point in time, I think it really helps to foster that peace and bond making for all Ivorians and to an extent Africans. And you look at what it could potentially mean for Ivory Coast in the coming years. It could accelerate their development in terms of what they're able to get economically. They've pumped in $1 billion into this tournament, but it's a lot of money.
Renovations on the stadium.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Because you look at, in comparison to let's say France hosting the 2016 Euros, they spent what, $211 million. But there's a difference because France already had the infrastructure in place.
Exactly.
Cote d'Ivoire had to build 4 new stadiums and renovate 2 other stadiums. And they also had to refurbish hospitals. They had to build new roads. They had to build hotels to cater to the tournament and to cater to guests in the tournament. And so what it means is that beyond this tournament, they are setting up the foundation for them to be able to accelerate their economic growth. Because if you have better hospitals, if you have better infrastructure in the stadia, you have the chance to host events, you have the chance to organize international competitions, which will bring in more money. And because your roads are better, you can move transportation, you can move goods, you can move people. And once you move people and you move goods and services, it helps accelerate your economy. So this AFCON means a lot to Ivorians. It's a brilliant tournament, it's a brilliant competition. I'm always in love with it. And it shows how important the competition is when it comes to football, because let's face facts, later today, the Asian Cup
is also taking place.
The Asian Cup kicks off, but when you look at the tabloids, when you read the tabloids, how many people are talking about the Asian Cup?
The AFCON has taken...
It's all about the AFCON because of the prestige of this competition, because of the level of of quality of players competing in the AFCON, because they are competing at their various clubs, and they are top-level players, top-notch players, and because of their absence, yes, it has drawn attention. It has drawn a lot of eyeballs to the competition, and so for me, this tournament is just a brilliant tournament. I just can't wait for it to get started.
All right, brilliant stuff from Yaya Jamin. So we all can't wait. Actually, this is the second time Cote d'Ivoire is hosting the tournament. The last time they did so was in 1984, and so it means, what, 40 years and counting. And funny enough, when they hosted, they exited in the group stages. It was Cameroon who won that competition. Hopefully, that will not happen this time around, and then hopefully they can get to the finals. Remember that Cote d'Ivoire have been to the finals twice, 1992 and 2015, and on all those occasions they went to the final, it was against the Black Stars of Ghana, and on penalties they beat Ghana to clinch the trophy. So, I mean, there's a lot of things to look forward to if we want to talk about the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations, which is kicking off later tomorrow. But Yaya Jamin put up a very beautiful piece about the Black Stars. Remember, that is what, 42 years and counting.
Yeah, 42 years.
We are looking to win the trophy. Yeah. I mean, we've not won it. The last time we won it was in 1982. And so let's check out this piece from Yao. When I come back, I'll engage Bernard and Yao on what they think about the Black Stars' chances. And I mean, a few thoughts shared by people who have actually won the AFCON. We talk about the likes of Mohamed Polo and others. Let's check out the piece. We'll be back. All right, very, very interesting thoughts from former AFCON winners. You heard Mohamed Polo, and there was George Alassa and also Ken Bediako, who is one of your topmost sport journalists in the country. Beautiful piece by my colleague Yaya Jamin. So what do you think? Do you think that we've grown beyond what they are saying, or you think that because you watched the 1992 AFCON final with the final against Cote d'Ivoire, it was Anthony Bafo who missed the last penalty. Almost everybody on the pitch, in fact, everybody took the penalties. And I mean, Anthony Bafo was supposed to take the last penalty, and the Black Stars would clinch. That would be a 5th AFCON title, but it went in favor of Cote d'Ivoire, who clinched the AFCON for the very, very first time. But let me start off with Abeku on this. I mean, you look at the Black Stars, the 2015 AFCON final against Cote d'Ivoire. I think that was our biggest moment, that the Black Stars could have gone on to win a 5th AFCON title. We bottled it. If you look at the 1992 too, same. I mean, we've heard Polo speak, George Alassa speak, attaching the spirituality and that kind of thing. I don't know what you think about what you saw from the piece from here.
I think our legends are still hurt. Obviously, when you hear them talk, you can see that the curse is still on. And
you believe that the curse is
absolutely, the curse is still on, and it's not going anytime soon, because they were not telling us solutions as to how to get these curses out from the Black Stars. Then Polo was quick to shift their attention to coaching and what have you. Listen, the Ghana Football Association at large have had its bits in how our technical area of our Black Stars, how they've handled it. There's been a bit of a problem. There's not been consistency. I was in Cape Coast where CK Akono, at the point I asked him about, whether he's having his hands on the team. I think he understood it differently, to say that, is he being interfered in his job? But I was thinking about the model, because, prior to him coming, he had talked about their growth football and what have you. But I think I didn't see that with the Black Stars. So I feel this curse still lingers on. And we need to find a solution to that. Listen, that squad that won us the African Cup of Nations, if there's something important that we can do for them, for them to now open their heart and say, listen, we just let this go. We said this. And listen, he said, from them meeting the president, you heard from Al-Hassan, from them meeting the president is when they started pronouncing curses. And how many years down the line? 40 plus. That's a huge number.
So you are saying that the curse still lingers on?
I mean, I see the curse still lingers on.
So coupled with the fact that we've got hiring of coaches wrong.
We've got hiring of coaches wrong.
Okay.
We've gotten how we should put proper infrastructure up to develop our football wrong. we've prioritized different stuff, you know, in comparison to prioritizing our national teams and getting good pitches, for example. And we don't even have a training pitch or a training center for our national teams. And that's sad, isn't it? Because we say we're a footballing nation. And we've been to AFCON how many times? And are we, now when you say you're a powerhouse, people want to attack you. Are we a powerhouse? Are we that country that is known for football? Listen, we've been to the World Cup for how many times, even for example, and the name we made for ourselves, the superstars we've churned out from this Black Stars.
What have we done?
Well, and what is the result? We've had monies from FIFA. What have we done with the money? And these are important questions that we need to be asking ourselves. Does this all stay in the angle or line of the case? $1 million question, because it's unpardonable, it's unimaginable to think that at this level of our Black Stars, we do not have anything to show.
Well, I mean, if you want to look at the finals, so the Black Stars have been to what? 9 AFCON finals, together with Egypt. Egypt have won 7. We have won 4. I mean, quick thoughts, just quick thoughts on, and so that we have to profile the groups from Group A to C. So just quick thoughts on this piece.
It was quite a trying piece, getting the legends. Some of them don't want to talk. For instance, Francis Kumi was part of the 1984 group.
He still hurts, I guess. He still hurts.
Yeah, some are hurt. Some just don't want to get into or get involved in anything connected to Ghana because of maybe the backlash that they might receive. So they just want to just stay in their corner, live their private life and enjoy their retirement. Francis Kumi, for instance, he is in Belgium. At the time, I made contact with him, but unfortunately, he didn't want to speak on this issue. And even George Alassane, he had a lot to say, but he was restraining himself because on multiple occasions, in that interview, I pushed him, and he said, "Okay, you know, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too much." And so, it was an interesting piece.
It means that they're still holding on some beliefs.
Look, Gabi.
Some are holding. Okay. I think that's what I got.
So then what's the solution? The solution is we need to get to sit them down, you know, with the presidency, with the Ghanaian Football Association, the current administration. And no, what should we do for these guys? Should we enter into housing for them? Should we do a project for them? Because some of them are suffering. And I'll tell you what, some of them are in critical situations. Okay. You know, so,
we'll talk more on this because the Black Stars will play later on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
So we can probably look at other things because you can still tell that beyond the tactics, beyond wrong players, probably coaches have called. There are other things that have contributed to the Black Stars are struggling at major competitions. But I mean, the AFCON is later tomorrow. Kickoff time. Ivory Coast will be taking on Guinea-Bissau at 8 p.m. So let's check out the profiles of the countries. We're starting with Group A. Let's check out Ivory Coast. Yes, the AFCON groups, Ivory Coast, who are hosting in that competition there. So let's start with Group A. Yes, so Group A is on your screen. We've got Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, and also Guinea-Bissau. Group B has got Egypt, Ghana, Cape Verde, Mozambique. Group C, Senegal, of course, the defending champions. Winning it for the very, very first time. Can Sadio Mane guide his team to another AFCON trophy? Cameroon is in there. They've got 5 AFCON trophies. Guinea and also Gambia. Group D has got Algeria, Burkina Faso, Mauritania, and Angola. Group E, Tunisia, Mali, South Africa, Namibia. And Ghana recently played a goalless draw with them. Group F has got Morocco, who got to, they finished 4th at the World Cup in Qatar. There's DR Congo, Zambia, and Tanzania. So, Charlie, big stuff, 24 teams. And this is the 3rd edition of the AFCON tournament that would see 24 teams competing. It started all the way from 2019. So let's start with profiling group. That's Cote d'Ivoire, who are the host nation. So we've got so Ivory Coast, yes, also Cote d'Ivoire. Their head coach is Jean-Louis Gasser, and they've also their star player Simon Adingra. He plays for Brighton and Hove Albion. AFCON appearance 24, 99 matches. They've won 44, they've drawn 29, and they've lost 26. Titles 2-time winners, 1992 and 2015. Like I said, that final was against the Black Stars of Ghana. AFCON ranking, they are 6th. Yes, CAF rankings, they are, okay, yes. So that's it, 8th in that competition heading into. Yeah, quick thoughts. And I mean, Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
I think the onus lies on them to. They would want to host and win this.
Yeah.
The last time they tried doing that, like I said, they exited in the group stages. I don't know. Do you think that there's pressure on them? But quick thoughts on what you think.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of pressure on them, and I'll give you an example to sum up how much pressure this team is under. Because in the lead up to the tournament, the former Prime Minister of Ivory Coast, of Cote d'Ivoire, he was sacked by the president, Alassane Ouattara.
Okay.
And a sports minister was appointed, and he pretty much acted like a de facto prime minister.
Yeah.
And that should tell you how much prominence and importance they've attached to hosting this tournament. It's more or less a way of saying to the world that, yes, Cote d'Ivoire is ready. Yes, we've been to a couple of World Cups after the Civil War, but we just don't want to be known or recognized for, in terms of media coverage, for echoes of going back to our Civil War days or something that's connected to the FIFA World Cup. We want something that's connected to Africa, and the best way to do so is by hosting this tournament in peace times. And so there's a lot of pressure on this Cote d'Ivoire team to ensure that, yes, they end up winning this title to fast track and continue the peacemaking.
That'll be a third title for them,
and the bonding in the country, and ensure that pretty much they have a clean image. They continue with that clean image. And yes, they have the squad to be able to win it. I think it's one of the most balanced and most talented squads.
They still got Max Gradel.
Yes, they still got Max Gradel.
This will be his 7th AFCON.
Yeah, they have everything. They have everything in terms of experience, in terms of youth, creativity, defending, midfield, balance. They have everything. Yeah. But the one thing I'll be looking out for is how they deal with the pressure, because there is a lot of pressure on this team. And so if there is any factor or hindrance that prevents this team from winning the title, I think it will be how they deal with the pressure and the level of expectation. If they can deal with it, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up winning it. They are one of my 3 favorite countries to win it, aside Senegal and aside Morocco. So yeah, it's all about how they deal with the pressure. The star players, yes, we had Sebastian Haller's picture on the screen. You also talked about Simon Adingra.
Yeah. Mas Gradel, he's not a star player, but he's got a lot of experience.
Yes, I think for me, the player I'll be looking out for is Wilfred Singo of AS Monaco. Okay. I've watched him a little bit because of Mohamed Salisu's situation. He stepped up and he's played so well at a high level. 23-year-old defender. He already has a goal for AS Monaco in 15 appearances in the league. And so I'll be looking out for how he performs, because a lot will depend on how he performs, and in terms of partnering with the likes of Wilfred Bolly and Serge Aurier to ensure that they're able to defend very well and complement the efforts of the midfielders and the strikers. No doubt they'll score goals. They'll score goals. It's all about how they defend and how they protect their goalkeepers. Okay.
Well, let's get to the other team. The next on the list is Equatorial Guinea, who is in that group with that's the Ivory Coast, and their head coach is one Michael Bian, a star player Emilio Insue. This will be 3 AFCON appearances for them, 50 matches. They've won 6, they've drawn 4, and they've lost 5. They had to win an AFCON trophy, CAF ranking 18th. I don't know. Yeah, would you want to say they one of the sides Ivory Coast would fancy their chances against? I don't know what you think about Equatorial Guinea's chances in that group.
Look, I mean, their coach have tried to modify this team. He's tried to make this team his own, and that's the most important. You check his win rate for the team when he came into the helms of affairs, and it's quite a number to speak well of. So, I mean, going into bringing this side into the African Cup of Nations proper, I feel, there are some stats that he's not looking at. Okay. He's looking at how he's built the squad in the recent time, the number of, or the profile of friendly games that he's played, and what he can get out from his boys. And it's quite impressive as a former man of his country, leading his country into
he would want to make a huge statement
tournament with a 64% win rate with his side, winning in the the last friendlies that they've played. I mean, all these numbers, 0 titles, what have you, really it wouldn't really matter to him. What is important to him is his first game. He takes games, a match at a time, and that's what is up in his mind. So I believe that, well, every tournament has surprises. They have players that, you know, they have teams that you don't think that they can make any presence. They have teams that you wouldn't mention. And fortunately, this time around, we have the third best placed team. Yeah. And you never know where they can get
to go. Yeah.
It is wide open.
To look at it and
it's
say,
a wide
yeah,
open tournament. It is wide open tournament. Okay. So, but, I mean,
I think for me, their key player is Jose Machín, who plays for Monza in the Italian Serie A. Yeah. I think a lot will depend on him. Yeah, in Suwe, because of his exploits in the past AFCON.
Yeah,
so he gets all the shine and recognition. And the recognition. But for me, I think it's Jose Machín, who plays for Monza in the Italian Serie A.
Okay.
And I think it depends on how he ends up playing for Equatorial Guinea. Yeah, a lot will depend on him.
Brilliant stuff. Now, next on the list is Guinea-Bissau. The opening game is against the host nation, Ivory Coast. And I think that if you look at that game against Ivory Coast, Guinea-Bissau themselves would want to pick up first 3 points. Basiru Kande as their head coach, their star player, Mama Balde, AFCON appearances. They've got 9 matches. They had to win. They've drawn 3 times. And they've lost 6, title 0, CAF ranking 21st. I mean, that's another one to look out for.
I think with this group, it's a straightforward battle between Ivory Coast or Côte d'Ivoire and Nigeria as to which team qualifies.
Will qualify. Okay, so taking first spot and second spot.
Taking first spot and second spot, because I don't see any of these teams being able to upstage them to pick up one of those top two spots. For Guinea-Bissau, Mama Balde, star player, plays for Olympique Lyon. He's one of their best players. At the end of the day, he hasn't shown too much for Olympique Lyon this season. He's played 10 games for Olympique Lyon. Doesn't have any goal, doesn't have an assist in those 10 games or 10 appearances for Olympique Lyon. So I think he's one of those guys who,
experience-wise, he brings it.
Who turns up for his national team, but when it comes to the club side, they tend to have their fair share of struggles. But at the end of the day, he's a pacey striker, strong striker. But I don't think he will be. He and Equatorial Guinea as a team will be too much to handle for Nigeria and Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Equatorial Guinea, they hosted the 2012 together with Gabon. Yeah. They hosted that tournament. Next on the list is Omonanja, our own Nigerian folks. And I mean, when you talk about Ghana and Nigeria, you know what's up. But they're also having a bit of a struggle. Jose Peseiro, if you listen to the Nigerians talk about how things have started quite slow, it's not looking good. So let's check out the profile of Nigeria. There you have it. Head coach Jose Peseiro. Their star player, of course, Victor Osimhen, the man of the moment. AFCON appearances, Nigeria have got 97 matches, 53 wins, 22 draws, 22 losses, 3-time champions. The first time they did so was 1980, 1994, and 2013. CAF ranking 6th, so they are in the top 10. Abeku, Super Eagles of Nigeria. They've got all the talent up front, but defensive, I always say that.
But aside the talent they've got up front, they are the side that they pay coaches well.
Okay.
I mean, you look at the list of the highest coaches, for this African Cup of Nations, and their coach shows up. It tells you what they want to do with their football. They have a well-organized.
The Nigerians have actually got issues. I mean, they're not too excited with the way Jose Peseiro is setting up his team. They feel he can give a lot more, especially if they look at the squad they've got currently. They think that, look, they are one of the sides who should be beating the likes of whoever they face. The last time, I think they played Saudi Arabia in a friendly, they lost.
They lost to Saudi
Arabia. I mean, if you listen to the people in Nigeria, look, if they had their way, they'll let go of him.
Yeah, I mean, I've had an intel, with this coaching situation, which indicates that he might go just like you are indicating. And if this AFCON is a period for him to experiment what he's really gotten to show. And that's instrumental then again because there's a squad. I mean, the star player, Victor Osimhen, led a team to win, a major laurel in how many years? And it tells you that, you look at the Nigerian team itself, they also have, just like Ivory Coast, at a point they have, star-studded scored.
At a point, they fade off a bit.
To the point, they fade off a bit. And, I mean, for Victor Osimhen, he needs to bring his form to the party.
Quick one. Do you think there's pressure on Osimhen to lead this team after being given, CAF best player?
Look.
Is there pressure?
Yeah, there is pressure. There is always pressure because at the end of the day, you are the guy who is the most high-profile player on the team. You have the CAF award.
And couple the fact that his exploits with Napoli leading them to the Scudetto forward.
And he hasn't been able, in 30 years, he hasn't been able to necessarily translate that to success with the Super Eagles because they failed to get to the World Cup when every indication showed that, yes, Nigeria has the best odds to qualify to the AFCON, especially when they played against Ghana, with Ghana coming off that terrible performance at the AFCON. Because the 1984 AFCON that I profiled... And of course,
at the World Cup qualifier.
Yes, the 1984 AFCON I profiled, that was our worst performance up until the 2021 AFCON because that group won one game. They lost to Nigeria 1-0. They lost to Algeria 1-0. Then the last game, they beat Malawi 1-0. And so at least they got a win. But at the 2021 AFCON, Ghana didn't win any game. We lost to Morocco, drew with Gabon, and lost to Comoros. So before the 2021 AFCON, that 1984 AFCON campaign was our worst. That's why they dubbed it the debacle of Boake. And it got to a point where, you had to be dissolved. Then the 2021 AFCON came. Then we had our worst campaign. But for Nigeria, there's a lot of pressure on them. And they are dealing with a lot of injuries too. Because Wilfred Boniface, who plays for Bayer Leverkusen, is injured. Omar Sadiq, who plays for Real Sociedad, is injured. Taiwan Oni. Then you also have the likes of Frank Onyenka, he also is injured. And so they have some injury issues, aside the fact that their team is not really that balanced. On top of that, Wilfred Ndidi is also going to miss this tournament. So that puts a lot of pressure on their defensive midfield to get it done. Because even when the other players were available, it was imbalanced. And now it is being stretched out, this issue. So for me, Nigeria, yes, they land in a very good group. They can qualify, but I don't see them having a deep run in the tournament.
Okay, so y'all meant to tip in Nigeria to qualify for that group. I don't know what you think about the teams we've profiled so far. You can join the conversation. We'll display the WhatsApp text lines in a bit. So that's it for Group A. Now let's get to Group B. And starting off with our very own, the Black Stars of Ghana. Head coach, I don't need to tell you, Chris Hughton. Four-time AFCON champion. The last time we won in 1982. Nigeria just won in 2013. The last time we won is 1982. I'm not sure if you're, 40 years below. I'm not sure you've seen an AFCON trophy.
No, you haven't.
If you're 40 years below, I'm not sure you've seen an AFCon.
No, you haven't seen any title win for Ghana.
But
except the Zenith Cup that we won before 2008 AFCON.
Oh, but did I use group also won the trophy?
No, that's at the senior level.
Okay, at the senior level.
So let's check out the Black Stars of Ghana. We'll display that in a bit here. So Chris Hughton is the head coach, star player, of course. Nobody to put there. Mohamed Kudus, AFCON appearance 23rd, 102 matches, 51 wins. 21 draws. We've lost 27 times. Titles 4, 1963, 1965, 1978, 1982. CAF ranking, we are out of the top 10, so 11th. Charlie. Yo, quick one. Okay, not them start with Abiku. Yeah, quick one.
I mean, you look at the Black Star stats, it tells you that we are supposed to be
in the top 10.
In the top 10.
Okay.
We are supposed to be a massive football nation. We are supposed to be in the top 3. You look at the number of laurels we've accumulated. You match it up to that of Egypt, a little bit closer. You match it up, below us there's Nigeria. So we are in a certain bracket.
And you see, interestingly, this group has got a lot of facts around Egypt and Ghana. Both teams have been to 9 AFCON finals.
Yes. Absolutely.
Egypt have won 7. The Black Stars have won 4.
Absolutely.
It tells you that, look, the Black Stars could have been rubbing shoulders with the Egyptians, but
absolutely. So it speaks well. How many times have we been to the final of the African Cup of Nations? We should have been winning a number of trophies. It tells then again, put the case situation aside. It comes back to how we've organized our styles, how we've gotten our things on the table. Has it been well arranged? It's a simple no, because with our coaching, we have been inconsistent. With our style of play, we've been inconsistent. I was out there trying to get the opinion of people, for Ghana's participation at the AFCON.
It's not looking good.
They want to talk. People don't want to talk. They are fed up with the Black Stars. What aren't we doing? I hope
they know
right?
that the AFCON is kicking off on later tomorrow.
Oh, they know,
but they are not. They are just not simply interested. Especially with our Black Stars. We've had things.
Yeah, we've got less time. Let's get to Ghana's next opponent. That's Egypt. Yeah, 7-time AFCON champions heading into this competition. And clearly, if you listen to the Opta stats, they are always tipping Egypt amongst the countries to win the AFCON this year. And of course, head coach Rui Vitória, star player Mohamed Salah, very key player for Liverpool this season. AFCON appearance, this 25. Egypt have got 107 matches. They've won 60. They've drawn 20 and they've lost 27. 1957, 1959, 1966, 1998, 2006, 2008, 2010. Fifth on the CAF rankings. Charlie Yao.
Yeah.
Clear favourites to win the title this year?
No, not clear favourites. Not clear favourites.
Maybe favourites, but not clear.
Not clear. So I take the clear.
Yeah.
So just favourite.
Just favourite.
But if you look at, so I saw something.
Even take them
top 10, they are in there to win.
I would tell them as a strong contender.
Okay.
I wouldn't say they are favourites or even strong favourites. They are a very good team. The fact that you have Real Victoria coming in, I think it marks something that Ghanaians have been craving for, because you look at their recent appointment of head coaches, the likes of Hector Cooper, the likes of Carlos Queiroz. Both are very defensive minded with the way they set up. You look at Carlos Queiroz, how he guided this team to the 2021 AFCON final against Senegal. It was very defensive. They didn't play expressive football, but his argument was that I got the job done. And I remember in the lead up to that final, he got into an argument with maybe one of the Egyptian fans, because their football was terrible, especially at the group stage. Yeah. And they wanted more creativity because they had a creative players, and they weren't getting that. So despite the fact that they got to the final, once they missed out on winning the title, he had to go, and they let him go. Then they brought in Hector Cooper, former Inter Milan, former Valencia head coach, and he also laid out a very defensive setup. They got to the 2022 FIFA World Cup playoffs, and they missed out on qualifying to the World Cup, and they had to let him go. But with Rui Victoria, he being Portuguese, he being very expressive, they are playing expressive football, and he's even willing to experiment with Mohamed Salah's position. In their last friendly game against Tanzania, they beat Tanzania by 2-0. At some point, he moved Mohamed Salah into a central midfield position and had him operate as a central midfielder. And Mohamed Salah still thrived. He delivered some accurate passes in there, and he looked comfortable. So for me, yeah, they are a strong contender, but I wouldn't peg them as favorites for this title.
Okay, I don't know what you think.
Gabi, just
I'll come to you in a bit. Just hold on for me. So this is what we'll do. We'll measure the two last teams in Group B. So let's check out. We start off with Mozambique. So let's check out Mozambique and then Cape Verde. Then we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue. So Mozambique there for you. Head coach Tikino Conde. Star player is Renildo. AFCON appearance 4 12 matches. 0 wins, 2 draws, 10 losses. Title 0. CAF ranking 23rd. Now let's get to Cape Verde. Yes, so that's it for you. That's Pedro Litao Brito. That's their head coach. Star player is Gary Rodriguez. AFCON appearance 4 11 matches, 2 wins, 6 draws, 3 losses. Titles 0, CAF rankings 14th. I mean, just to merge for me. Let's go for a quick break.
These are countries that Ghana should beat.
Yeah.
These are countries that Egypt should beat and leave the third best slot for them to struggle with. You get it. I mean, the competition really in this group is with Ghana and Egypt. I see these countries not as a dent on their image, but I mean, if they play together as a team, then they can come to the party and show what they've got. Because every tournament comes up with some names that are to shine under the light, and I feel these countries will come to the party. So for me, Cape Verde might get a point, because
players with Portuguese decent.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Don't be surprised if they display Portuguese football against the Black Stars on match day 1.
Black Stars, they again surprise at all tournaments, isn't it? Because you do not know what the coach is doing. We met countries like Comoros and what have you, and they showed us some bits of togetherness in football when they decide to play on the pitch. So Cape Verde can cause an upset to the Black Stars. We need to put our eyes on the grass. That's why I'm happy we are not favorites for this tournament.
Okay, the Black Stars no favorites. That's Bernard Aveco. That's what he believes. I don't know what you think. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we've got Group C to check out for and the other groups. This is the AFCON Daily Show on Citi TV. My name is Gabi Ofe. Don't change your dial. We'll be back. Welcome back. My name is Gabi Ofe, and this is the AFCON Daily Show on Citi TV. We are previewing the AFCON teams that will be participating at the tournament in Cote d'Ivoire, which is kicking off later tomorrow, 8 p.m., is Ivory Coast taking on Guinea-Bissau in the opening game. The Black Stars of Ghana are in action later on Sunday against Cape Verde. But now it's time for socials, and my colleague Kelvin Edem Kai will join me on set to tell us what people are talking about the AFCON, which is kicking off. I don't know whether people are excited. I was asking Yao and Bernard if people actually know that the AFCON is kicking off later tomorrow.
People definitely know that the AFCON
people know. So what do you have on the socials? What are people saying?
You can tell that people have been expecting the tournament.
Okay.
With the tournament being postponed, you can tell people are hungry for African football on the continent. And the excitement is shown here. Here we have Mighty George. He's saying we are just one sleep away from the tournament. You can tell he's very excited about the tournament coming. Yeah, and here's Calvin Emeka Onukwa. He's a Nigerian. He's saying this is the only football tournament bigger. The only football tournament bigger than the AFCON is the FIFA Men's World Cup. There's somebody who really believes that African football is at the top of his game. And we have Liverpool here. Liverpool wishing Salah all the best.
Oh, okay. You mean the Liverpool Twitter handle?
Yes, the Liverpool Twitter handle.
The Liverpool X handle.
Yes, the X handle, I should say. They are wishing Mo Salah good luck in competing in the tournament.
Okay.
And Hull City too are wishing Seri Adama the best of luck ahead of the tournament. Yeah. So you can tell that everybody is eager to see what's going to happen in the AFCON. People are really expecting football because it's been a long time since African football has been served to us in this way.
I see one tweet saying what? I'm praying for Ivory Coast to get knocked out.
Yeah, they are one of the strong teams. They're one of the strong teams. You don't expect people don't want to face them in the round of 16 and the quarterfinals and the stages. So you just expect that some people will just pray because people are looking at the paths from their groups to see if they qualify. If they qualify first or second, they know who they'll face. Ghana should be wary of that too because we stand to face a very strong team depending on the place we qualify in our group. So people are generally excited about the AFCON coming and we should just hope that the tournament will live up to the expectation.
But quick thoughts, where do you think Ghana will get to? And Ivory Coast is the host nation. Let's start off with the Black Stars of Ghana. Don't say group stage exit, I beg you.
I mean, I think Ghana can reach the quarterfinals, but it depends on the performance we put up in our group stage. I believe we can get out of the group easily. I think the Egypt game is the only game that we might really struggle with, but if we get a draw in that game, we'll be good enough. So we get our points against Cape Verde, do the job, in our final game, then I think if we can get a draw against Egypt, we can make it to the round of 16. But then that's the grey area for me. I think when we get there, our performances will have to get better as the tournament progresses.
Ivory Coast?
Ivory Coast, the host nation, there's a lot of pressure on them, but I see them in the quarterfinals at least.
Okay. Can you run us through more what people are saying? Or comments?
Here we have, if you go here, we have more people speaking about the tournament.
That's the AFCON draw. Claude Leroy in the
yes, Sadiq Adams saying, just saw an image from South Africa 2013. This is a throwback to South Africa 2013. And you can tell that people are...
Wait, is that Sadiq? Okay.
Yes, that's Sadiq himself. You can see the picture is a bit pixelated.
10 years. 11 years. You want to put it
here. So you can see he's reminiscing about the past, looking forward.
And Claude Leroy, the man he's interviewing, Claude Leroy, he has history with Ghana.
Yeah, that's true.
He was the head coach for the Black Stars when we held the 2008 AFCON in Ghana. And we didn't win the tournament. We wanted to host and win, but it ended up being a host and draw. And so and his assistant was Hervé Renard.
That's true. He's gone on to win.
Ended up leading Zambia to win the AFCON title in 2012.
Wow.
And Ivory Coast in 2015.
Yeah, we are still sleeping.
Bringing back Claude Leroy. it brings back a lot of memories.
And then what more have you got for us?
We have Julia Bewa here saying the countdown is almost over. The AFCON 23, and my brother Mobodua is trying to recruit more fans for the Scorpions. So she's really excited about it. The tournament's coming.
That's the Gambia. We'll talk about them in a bit.
Here we have someone showing his footwear ahead of the tournament. You can tell he's
so it's a Footy Namibia handle. So probably that would be one of their players trying to just Anas Gary that. So
then we have Owusu Bempire Ayala here. He's saying AFCON is almost here one day, so you can tell he's very excited and waiting for the tournament. Well,
I don't know what you think about the AFCON kicking off, but remember that on Citi, we've got our very own hashtag running. That's AFCON on Citi, hashtag AFCON on Citi. Just hop on to that and also just share your thoughts on what you think about the Black Stars' chances. Do you think that Ivory Coast can do a host and win for the very first time? Because the last time they tried doing so, they exited the competition. It was 1984. It wasn't looking good for them. I don't know what you think about the Black Stars' chances. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the profiling of the teams for you. This is Citi TV, the AFCON Daily Show. My name is Gabi Ofe. Welcome back. This is Citi TV. The AFCON Daily Show is our very first episode right here for you. There's no place to be from now until February 11. The only place, the only channel to listen, to watch, is Citi TV for you. And this is the place to catch all the updates right from Cote d'Ivoire till what? February. That's almost like a month. Yes, a month probably. Just watch everything. You can join the conversation. We'll display our WhatsApp text lines in a bit. You can join in on whatever we've discussed so far. But my guest for today, Yahweh Jaminta, Emmanuel Nubo, has joined us. I hope I got your name right. I didn't.
Perfect.
But how are you doing? Let me just pick your thoughts.
I'm good. I mean, excited that AFCON football is back. And I mean, majority of the best players out there in Europe from African descent are here. So I think it will be a very enjoyable tournament, just like the last one.
Yeah.
And happy to see, it's been extended, I think, since 2019. Yeah. So more teams.
24 teams now.
Yeah. And it's from what we saw in the last tournament, it's clear to see that there's a breach in the gap between the big teams and the smaller teams now. So then it gives for more exciting games and closer matches, not like 4-5-0 scoreline. So that's exciting to see, and it also shows that the African football is developing to a certain level. So I'm excited about it.
And that is why if we don't do our things well as a country, we'll probably not win the AFCON again. Because look, every time they keep extending it, the last time was 1982, they've extended it to what, 8, 16, now 24. I mean, we just keep struggling.
Well, because if you do the math, then it means your probability
of winning
it becomes harder. And the chances of you winning it, probability, it drops, it becomes lower because it's simple, the numbers gain. If you have more nations competing in the tournament, then your chances of winning it, it drops. Back in the day, it was 8. At the last time we won it was 1982. It was 8 teams. Then it moved on to 16, and now we are 24. So we need to speed up.
Yeah,
and
I like that word.
We need to speed up and win the title as quickly as we can, because this 24 nation league tournament, it has come to stay.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't want to laugh, but let's continue with the profiling of the team. We are now at Group C, and we start off with Gambia, the Scorpions. I mean, Gambia have been in the news for all the wrong reasons. Charlie, from boycotting training to returning to Banjul because zero oxygen in the plane. It's not looking good, for example, for Gambia. But that's Gambia for you. Head coach Tom Saintfight. Their star player is Aliou Fadera. AFCON appearance 1. 5 matches, they've won 3, they've drawn 1, they've lost 1. Title 0, CAF rankings 35th there for you. Let me start with Yao on Gambia. Yao, I don't know where to start from, but Gambia are looking like not starting right at the AFCON.
Yeah, they have a lot of problems, and it's a shame because the 2021 AFCON, they did so. They were one of the happy stories of that tournament, and they ended up exiting at the quarterfinal stage, and it was quite an impressive performance because this is a country that had struggled to qualify to the AFCON tournament. Surprisingly, when you look at the fact that this is a country that's pretty much surrounded by Senegal, and they had a lot of players of of African descent who were playing for European nations, and they weren't simply able to put it together. And to the extent that they weren't even able to develop their under-17 team that ended up winning the AFCON some years ago when Ghana's very own Osam Dodu coached that team. And so seeing them being able to break through at the last AFCON and have them go through what they are going through at this point in time, it decreases their chances of qualifying from the group, and it just makes me sad that they haven't been able to build on what they achieved. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they exit the tournament earlier than
because I think it would be a very big feat for them if they even manage to progress out of the group stage and get to the next stage. Because they'll be treated to a hero's welcome, no doubt about it.
Because once money gets into the mix and they are aggrieved parties, it's never a good thing. It's never a good. Ghana, we've had our fair share of money issues, and it's never a good thing. It doesn't ever end well.
Okay. Now, next on the list is Cameroon, 5-time AFCON champions, the indomitable Lions. They were the last country to host the last edition in 2021, where the Black Stars exited in the group stage. Head coach Rigobert Song, start player Vincent Aboubakar, AFCON appearance 91 matches, 45 wins, 30 draws, 16 losses. Titles, like I said, 5-time AFCON champions. The last time they won it was 2017. The first time they won it was 1984. They continued 4 years later. That was some years later, 1988, 2000, 2002, and 2017. No, but let me just speak your thoughts. Cameroon have got the Andre Onana bit. Everything with Rigobert Song you see there. I mean, I don't know what you think about the Cameroon's chances this time around in Cote d'Ivoire.
Well, I mean, judging by
the last edition, they finished third, I believe.
Yes, they were third. Yeah, they got to the semi-final. So, I mean, judging by how they performed in that tournament, you would think that they would also do well. But I mean, from all the rumors that came out from the World Cup, Onana having to leave camp, rendering an apology. We are hearing he wants to play the last game for United, and I think in 24 hours.
What, January 14?
Yes. And then in about 24, 48 hours, you want to start for your. I think that is not good for team chemistry. That's also not good. It also shows that the coach doesn't really have a stronghold on the team. A lot of people have even questioned his man management skills because normally before a tournament, you want some harmony in camp. You'd want there to be some togetherness and unity so that it also builds up into the play. But now it looks like there are egos and all those things come into play. They're also missing a player like Brian Mbeumo, who was in very good form, so he got injured. And Cameroon, they have this funny way of doing these things. Sometimes the players are not in agreement with the FA headers.
Charlie, the politics.
Sometimes it helps. You never know. Let's say, like Italy in 2006 in the World Cup, when there was a scandal and all those things, they tend to perform well. But for Cameroon, I don't know if that would happen this time. 2017, I think 8 or so of their top players refused to play. Matip, Choupo-Moting and all those people, and they went on to win. But bulk of those players are still in this team. Ingie is still in the team. Basagog is not in, but Aboubakar is in. So you'd look to see how best can they blend their new players and then the experienced players. But if they don't get their house in order and there isn't some form of togetherness in the camp, and Rigobert Song is not able to stamp his authority on this team, that could create problems. Just like it happened in the World Cup, it could happen again.
Okay. Well, let's see. We'll see how far Cameroon get to this time around. The next two, we'll pick it at a go. So we'll start off with Guinea. Then we'll later check out the defending champions who are Senegal. So let's have Guinea next on the screen for you. So Guinea, the head coach is Kaba Diawara. Their star player, of course, Naby Keita, former Liverpool player, AFCON appearance. They've got 47 matches. They've won 13, they've drawn 17, and they've lost 17. They are yet to win an AFCON title, CAF ranking 15. Now let's get to the next one, Senegal, who are the defending champions of the competition. Aliou Cissé is the head coach, star player, of course, the man in the picture, Sadio Mane, former Liverpool player, AFCON appearance 16, 67 matches, 27 wins, 17 draws, and 23 losses. Titles won. So they won it in Cameroon, and the CAF ranking second. They are hoping to do back-to-back. Charlie, that would be big for them,
that would be big, because we haven't had back-to-back champions since Egypt. And so, that would really be big for Senegal. And for Gambia, for Guinea, it's funny because you have a team that's heading into a tournament, and one of their players, Sela, he got dropped because they played a game in a friendly game against Brazil, and he exchanged jerseys with Vinicius Junior, and the jerseys got lost in the dressing room, and he accused his teammates of stealing that particular jersey, and he caused a whole lot of rift in that team, and because of that, he got dropped by the coach. And so that's what you have. That's what you have them doing before the start of the competition. But again, at this tournament, that's why I see the South Africa group as the group of death, because the other groups you have just two straightforward favorites to qualify to the next round, and it's the same for this group. I see Senegal and Cameroon, despite Cameroon's many issues regarding the Onana situation, qualifying from this group.
So do you think that Sadio Mane, how would a lot will be dependent on him to push this team forward? He's left Liverpool to play in the Saudi League. People have questioned the competitiveness of the Saudi League. I don't know what you think Mane can do with this team. Not just him, they've got other players who can push this team to do big things in Cote d'Ivoire. He's
a made man. at this point in time, that's what Senegal needed. That there was that bit of jerkiness or hesitancy when it came to they being able to get over the line. And that you had this boatload of talented players. Every time they weren't able to live up to expectation, and I honestly believe that's what Mali is also struggling with. That they have this group of talented players year in, year out, but for some reason mentally, their mentality is just not there for them to be able to break through. Now Senegal has made that breakthrough. I don't think Sadio Mane and this group will have any issues being motivated to come out of this group and being able to have another deep run in the tournament. But for Sadio Mane, I think he's fine. As a player, he's fine. The other players, Salah, Ismail Assar and Co, who are also doing well, and it's up to them to be able to step up. Sadio Mane will do his thing. He'll come to the party.
They've got a lot of experience. Idrissa Gana Gueye, they can count on.
Now those guys will do their thing. It's down to the likes of the Ismail Assar group to step up, because as good as Gana Gueye is, you can tell that he's not the same as he was
best years
2 years ago. And so, yes, he'll give you everything that he has, but everything that he has at this point in his career wouldn't be enough. So you need the Ismail Assar-led group
to complement,
to step up and get the job done. And I think they will be good to go. For the group stage, they are fine, but the latter part of the stages of the competition, that's where they need that Ismail Assar group to step up.
I'll come to Nubo in a bit. You do the Algeria Angola for me. So let's get to Group D. Algeria. We start off with Algeria for you before we get to Angola. For that AFCON that will be kicking off later tomorrow. Algeria there for you. Jamel Belmadi, star player Riyad Mahrez in the AFCON appearance. They've got 20 records, 77 matches, 28 wins, 22 draws, and they've lost 17 times. Two-time champions, 1990 and 2019 edition. CAF ranking 4th. Next on the list, Angola for you on your screens. Let's check out Angola. Pedro Goncalves, start player Gelson Dalla. I remember this player so much when we played against them in the World Cup qualifiers. AFCON appearance 9, 26 matches, they've won 4, they've drawn 12, and they've lost 10. They are yet to win an AFCON trophy. CAF ranking, you can find them 28 on the CAF ranking. So, let's start with Algeria, the Fennec Foxes. Are they one of the favorites to win the competition, you think?
Well, based on their squad and the profile of players they have, they are supposed to be considered the favorites. But then we saw what they did in the last tournament, that horror show where they finished bottom of their group. So I think with this tournament, they would want to rectify that. So you'd want the responsibility will obviously rest on the star players. There's Mahrez in there, there's Hossam Aouar in there. They still have the Slimani's and the Fegoulis and all those players who are, they're against the end of their career when it comes to African football national team performances. So you'd expect that form of experience or should impact. But even with that, that's where the problem may come in, even if you compare to Senegal. When the spine of your team, yes, is experienced, but they are old. If that spine doesn't hold, it tends to affect the whole team. So for Algeria, that is something which I think should be a problem.
Yeah.
I think for their coach, winning the tournament in 2019 and having that horror show, he should use this tournament to rectify that too. At least they should get out of the group, maybe the quarters and the semis thereabout. But with their squad, they should be considered one of the favorites.
Okay. Quick thoughts on Angola. Where do you think they'll get to?
Angola, I doubt they'll be able to make it.
Difficult.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at their 2006-2010 squad that went to the World Cup, they hosted. They had some star players in there.
Yeah.
And for now, I think Helder, who used to play for Leeds, is not in this squad. So it means the squad is a bit watered down. So that's the worry for them. Maybe the challenge of Senegal and that is maybe too strong for them.
He requested to stay away from the team. He requested to stay away from the team.
I was just about saying that. I mean, he earned a lot of plaudits on social media, and people were taking a dig at
Andrea at the time.
I mean, Charlie, but that's a whole lot of conversation to get into. Let's get to the camp of Burkina Faso. Next on the list for you is Burkina Faso in that group, Group D for the AFCON tournament. Head coach Hubert Veloud, star player Issa Kabore, AFCON appearance 13, 48 matches. They've won 9, they've drawn 16 times. They've lost 23. They are yet to win an AFCON trophy. Top 10, they are in there. Burkina Faso are churning out good talent.
Yeah.
Charlie, big stuff, yo.
Yeah, Issa Kabore, former Manchester City player.
The chap who plays for Bournemouth.
Dango Ouattara. Is it Ouattara? Yeah.
Dango Ouattara.
Dango Ouattara is also in there. Ahmed Traore is Ivorian. Ahmed Traore is Ivorian.
No, he's Burkina Faso. The Aston Villa guy. Yeah, he's Burkina Faso.
Okay.
What?
Traore. Bertrand Traore, rather.
Yeah, I'm talking about Traore.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, he's with Bournemouth. Ahmed Traore. Yeah, he's Ivorian. Dango Ouattara, I think they are good on the wings. Yeah, they are very strong on the wings and they are powerful, very athletic. No wonder they've called themselves the Stallions. A very, very strong group of players. They are a very tricky side, a very unpredictable side. You never know what you get from them because one moment you find the likes of Aristide Banse, type of players coming up. Jonathan Petroipa, kind of players.
Yeah, it's true. They're always blowing hot and cold. You actually don't know what to expect from them.
You never know what to expect from the Burkina Faso. And so, it's very difficult to pin where they will end up at the tournament. And they are a very tricky side. I honestly, I can't pick out where they will end up in the tournament. They might even crash out of the group stage. They might make a deep run to the semi-final or even make it to the final. So, they're a very unpredictable group and might just end up either disappointing or shocking a lot of people in this tournament.
For me, when I see Burkina Faso, the only player I remember is Aristide Banse.
I mean, with the head.
What I mean. So, let's get to the next one. Last thing, Group D, then we'll get to Group E. Mauritania in that group for you. Yeah, Group D. So that's it. Amre Abdul, start player. Aboubakari Koita, AFCON appearance. They've got 2-6 matches. They had to win. They've got 2 draws. They've lost 14. Title 0. CAF ranking 22nd. There for you. Let's get to the group of death. That's what y'all Minta calls it. Group E, we start off with Mali. Yes, Mali for you. Head coach Eric Sekushele, start player is Bissouma. Tottenham, doing big start for Ange Postecoglou. AFCON appearance, they've got 12. 54 matches, 19 wins, 19 draws, 16 losses. Titles, they had to win an AFCON trophy. CAF ranking 9th there for you for Mali. Namibia, next on the screens. Namibia recently played the friendly against the Black Stars of Ghana. Head coach Colin Benjamin, and after playing the goalless draw, he says Ghana is still one of the powerhouses in the competition. I think he's just joking. He's just messing with our heads. Start player Peter Shalule, AFCON appearance. They've got 9 matches, 0 wins, 2 draws. They've lost 7 AFCON titles, yet to win. CAF ranking 27th. And remember that they're one of the countries who decided to pitch camp in Ghana here before the start of the AFCON. Nubo, let me start off with you on Mali. Namibia, just measure one for me.
I mean, Namibia, there isn't really much to say about them. This is just their 3rd appearance. So you look to see if there's some form of improvement in the way they play, the way they compose themselves. They wouldn't want to just open themselves up for the bigger teams to use them to score easy points. But then for Mali, as Yao said, If there's something that any Malian team will guarantee you, they'll be physical, they'll be powerful. They'll not.
You can't take that away from them.
It's just like Guinea.
Yeah,
you can't take it away from them.
Yeah.
They'll not make playing against them any easy.
Yeah.
So if you are going to get any results from them, you would have to really play well to get a result against them. So you look to see if they can go over the head, or as he said, because they have talented players. Bissouma is in there; he's a powerhouse in the midfield. But can they put that together? Because they tend to depend more on the physical game. When they tend to meet teams that are a bit more technical than them, that's where they tend to find themselves wanting. So maybe as the tournament progresses, if they can find their rhythm and then get into the quarterfinal stage, with those things, you just need to win the games to qualify. You don't really need to perform well. If they can be able to blend that synergy, I think they should be able to go far. But I don't see them as favorites for the tournament.
All right, so now to North Africa in that group. Tunisia next on the list for you. Yes, so that's the Tunisian national team. Their head coach is Jalal Kadri, start player. Elise Shakiri, African appearance is 20 for them. 80 matches, they've won 25. They've drawn 29. They've lost 26 times. One-time champion, and that happened in 2004. CAF ranking, they are 32nd. Final country in that group, South Africa. Yeah, South Africa for you. Let's check out South Africa. Yes, head coach Hugo Bruce. Percy Tau, of course, is their start player. AFCON appearance 10, 43 matches. They've won 16, they've drawn 12 times, and they've lost 15 times. One-time champion, 1996. Charlie, Cheo, CAF ranking 12th. I mean, yeah, let's start off with
But they won it last one in 96.
Yeah, the
last one
boys.
in 1982.
Yeah,
so compared to ours, they should feel a bit younger than.
At least we were born when this happened.
Yes.
If you're in that country, you would have witnessed an AFCON.
Oh yeah, most definitely. For this group, I take Mali to qualify. Mali for me are one of the dark horse contenders for the title. Tunisia always well organized when it comes to this competition. Very difficult to break down. Have that one player who can provide that spark. For several editions of this competition, it has been Insakni who was showing up on the screen. But I look at South Africa and I look at the coach in particular, Hugo Bruce. He was the one who led Cameroon, who led Cameroon to their last title, AFCON title in 2017. And I look at the elements in this group, the fact that you have a very pacey winger in Percy Tau. That's the exact thing that he needs. It's just like Basagog in that 2017 Cameroon team. And I think he has the elements to pull off a surprise with the South African team. There aren't too many expectations, though they have a good group, solid group of players. There aren't too many expectations on this group to do well. But I see them being able to upstage Tunisia to pick up that second automatic qualification spot in this group. Then Tunisia would have to be one of the best third places to qualify to the next round. But honestly, I think these two, this group has two teams that I will pick as dark horse contenders in Mali and South Africa. South Africa has a surprise pick to make a deep run in the tournament, and Mali as a dark horse contender to make it to the final.
Yeah, big start from that group. Let's see how that group shapes up when the tournament kicks off just later tomorrow. So like what popped up on the socials, just one more sleep. Let's just go sleep for just tonight. When we wake up tomorrow, the fever is on. Yeah, the AFCON kicking off in Cote d'Ivoire. Now the final group for you. We start off with Congo. We do Congo first, then we go to Morocco. So Congo is the DR Congo head coach Sebastien Desabre. Their start player is Jan Visa, AFCON appearance 19. 73 matches, they've won 20, they've drawn 24 times, they've lost 29 times. Two-time AFCON champions, 1968 and 1974. CAF ranking 13th. Now let's get to the Atlas Lions of Morocco. On your screens for you, yeah. This is the team to beat actually at the AFCON. That's my pick. Morocco, head coach Walid Regragui. Their star player is Ashraf Hakimi. AFCON appearance, they've got 18, 70 matches, 27 wins, 24 draws, 19 losses, titles. The last time they won it in 1976, and CAF rankings, top. Charlie, I feel like I want to be a Moroccan now. Let me start. You see, I mean, out of what they are doing in the country, especially with infrastructure bits, not even the football they are playing, the infrastructure. That's the way to go. It's so simple.
Even extending into women's football, their women's team are also doing well.
No, but quick thoughts on Morocco.
True. I mean, like 10 years ago, when we talk about women's football,
they were not in the picture.
Morocco wasn't even
That's
in that
true.
picture. They were even struggling. They were dealing with, should women play football?
Exactly.
Should women play football without hijab?
Yeah.
Those were
the religion was playing a really
and look at the short space of time what they've been able to achieve.
Now they're hosting everything.
Exactly.
They're hosting everything. But no, but quick thought. Start off with Congo for me.
Well, Congo, I think the last 3 or 4 editions, they managed to make to the semi-finals, if I remember correctly. And they used to have a prize possession in their teams, TP Mazembe and the likes, who were performing well in Africa. They've kind of gone down a bit, so that may also affect their team. But then you'd expect some of their star players to come to the fore, like Johan Risa. That burden will be on him. But then in this group, it will be very difficult if you are even looking at a team like Morocco, if they are going to play against them. But for Morocco, yes, we all assume that they should be the team to win the bar. If you look at the teams they face in the World Cup and their approach play in the World Cup versus coming to Africa, I don't think that approach play works. So that would actually show us how good the coach is. Can he be a bit more innovative? Okay, so or adapt to how the African game is going to go, because in the World Cup they had less of the possession and then they were more like a counter-attacking team, trying to restrict him to certain places. But in Africa, if we are going to play against Congo, definitely they will give you the ball.
Open up.
Exactly. So when the expectations is on them and they have more of the ball, can their players be able to perform? I mean, their spine is, I think they have the best squad. If you ask me, from goalkeeping,
midfield. I think it's actually a balanced squad.
Very, very,
goalkeeping,
very balanced.
Defense, midfield, attack.
Exactly.
It's really balanced.
That balance that Chris Hughton always talks about in his press.
And never shows.
Balance,
you don't
balance,
have to chip
balance. Yeah, we're searching for that balance. We'll never get that balance.
I mean, we'll get to Citi.
I mean, you can say they have arguably one of the best goalkeepers in Africa. And you look at their defense, there's Roman Saiz in there, you had Navi Aguerd from West Ham. So I think they have the perfect squad, but then can they put it all together and bring whatever they did in the World Cup to Africa? I think that will be their main challenge. It's not about whoever they face, because there's quality in there to beat whoever they face on a very good day. So that's what we'll be looking from. Looking at from Morocco.
Do you think that their run at the World Cup in Qatar, do you think puts pressure on them to deliver at the AFCON? Not just that, top of the CAF rankings, the kind of football they are playing, the sticking with their head coach, Walid Regragui, you can see that there's a long-term plan. There's a direction. Do you think that there's pressure on them to deliver?
Yeah, there is pressure on them, especially knowing that they are a North African side and they are a team that is trying to avoid what happened to Algeria at the last AFCON. Though they didn't go into the AFCON as defending champions. They're not coming to this AFCON as defending champions, as Algeria was going to the 2021 AFCON. But it's more or less that if there's anything like a virtual AFCON, defending AFCON champion, it will be Morocco, because it's like people have already gifted them the title. And so they have a lot of expectation on them to be able to live up to. It's just like, I remember heading to the 2010 FIFA World Cup. All people were saying was, okay, Spain has to just show up and win the title because of the kind of football that they were playing, and the fact that they went in 2008 Euros and they won it. The first game they lost. Then Iniesta came back and they went on this run and they ended up winning the 2010 World Cup. That's the kind of pressure that Morocco is under, that you are virtually the champion.
Expected to win.
You're expected to win. You are the awesome favorite to win. Can you live up to that potential? And like Nubo said, at the World Cup, they played a different style. In Africa, they are the favorites and have to play in a different style. But when I look at what their teams have been able to do, right from the Chan group, the under-23 group, and what this team has shown post the 2002 World Cup, I think, yes, they can do it, because they have the quality players and the tactical news from Regragui to be able to play defensive, conservative football, and also play expansive football. They have that kind of team. Like you said, that team is well balanced. They have that kind of team to be able to play either way. They can play in transition, they can play expansive football, and they can hit you on the counter-attack. They can do everything. That's why they are one of the favorites to win this tournament.
Okay, one of the favorites to win the tournament. And for me, the exploits at the Qatar 2022 is still fresh in my mind because, look, I look at them, that third and fourth place against Croatia, it was all DS, but I just think that they ran out of steam, like they ran out of gas.
A little bit on the coach. I think he was cheated by FIFA.
Yeah.
With the FIFA
you mean
coach
that
of the
World
year.
Cup?
Yeah,
oh,
after
okay, the awards, yeah.
Yeah, awards. He wasn't even shortlisted.
Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't even short. He didn't even make it to the top 3.
Yeah.
Which for me was absolutely
was shocking.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
Because this guy, aside what he did with Morocco national team at the World Cup, he was the one who was with that Casablanca.
That's true. That's true.
And he led them to be able to win the CAF Champions League.
I mean, it was with that run that put him in that
Yes,
stage.
and they sacked
everybody was talking about
their
him.
coach,
He had less than a month.
2 weeks. I think about a month to the start of the World Cup, and for him to be able to come in there and get them to do what they did
was
I think honestly FIFA wronged Africa. FIFA wronged Morocco a lot by not having him make it to the top 3 shortlist. That for me was flat out wrong.
Well, all the best to Morocco. For me that's my country. That's the team I'm actually tipping to do big things at this year's edition of the African Cup of Nations too. Kicking off later tomorrow in Cote d'Ivoire. Let's check out Tanzania and then Zambia, the final 2 countries for you. Tanzania there on your screens. Adel Amrishi, there's in Wana Samata, AFCON appearance. They've got to 6 matches. They are yet to win 1 draw. They've lost 5 times. They are yet to win an AFCON trophy. CAF ranking, they are 32nd. The final country, Zambia. Yeah, let's check out Zambia. So Zambia right there. Head coach, oh boy, Avram Grant. Okay, star player passing Dakar. AFCON appearance, they've got 17, 66 matches. They've won 27 times, 18 draws. They've lost 22 times. Title winners 2012. Yeah, and I remember that run. It's a super story. CAF ranking 17th. Charlie, the only thing I like about this Zambia national team is that Avram Grant is coaching them.
Does he still have that magical Lacote?
I think, he still has, because they hadn't qualified to the AFCON in the past 3 editions, and he came and he got them to qualify.
Look, I think we need to watch him. Like, we need to put tabs on him.
Yeah, but Zambia have an exciting team. Yeah. My only problem is that as much as they score, they also concede.
Yeah.
And that kind of football that kind of football is not the best for tournament football. So they'll need to find that balance. In as much as you are scoring, you should also find a way to close shop, especially if you are going into if they get out of the group, quarterfinals and those kind of things. 1 goal can determine how your tournament goes from there. So if they can find that balance, I do think maybe 2nd place or one of the 3rd best placed teams, they should be able to do that.
For Tanzania, look out for them to play ultra conservative football, because that's how they qualify to the AFCON. Their last game, it was against Algeria away from home, and they drew with Algeria, and that's what got them to qualify to the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. So for me, I'll be looking out for how they perform, especially on the defensive front. And they should be a tough team to break down. But again, straightforward 2 teams to qualify from this group.
Well, straightforward 2 teams to qualify from the group. I don't know what you think about the teams we've profiled so far. Let's hear from you on our WhatsApp text lines. What do you make about all the countries, the 24 countries who are set to participate at the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations, which is kicking off in later tomorrow. Just 1 more sleep. Close from work, go and sleep today, wake up tomorrow, and pin it there. Yeah, the AFCON is kicking off later tomorrow night. It's Ivory Coast taking on Guinea-Bissau. And remember that we've got live radio commentary for you on Citi 97.3, the Black Stars games. You're going to give commentary on all those games for you. There's no place to be. For TV, the AFCON Daily Show will air from Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Reviews, previews, top-notch analysis, all right here for you. We'll take so that's it. Everything right here for you. But guys, let's quickly now touch on the countries. So who you think would be your champion? Remember that CAF has increased the prize money. This time around, there's $7 million on the table to take. Runner-up, $4 million. Losing semi-finalists, $2.5 million. the quarterfinal is 1.3 on the table to take. And that's an increment, 40% boost at the last edition. CAF paid Senegal $5 million after they beat Egypt in the final. And according to CAF, it is just to elevate the prestige of the tournament and to help the football competitions on African soil. Remember that CAF themselves hosted something they call the African Football League. And that's a way more. But if you look at Motsepe, ever since he took over, one thing I've realized with him is that he's pumped in so much money in whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it takes money to make money. And so, if you want to elevate the competition to a sport or a level where you can demand a lot of money from sponsors, then you need to put in the money, make that investment to ensure that it gets to that elevated level. Then you can start reeling in the cash by having sponsors pay more money to cover the tournament, to be associated with the brand. And so I think on that bit, I have some issues with the way he's run the organization, especially with the Africa Football League, the Super League and all that. I think there are a lot of fishy sports around it, a lot of holes in it. But when it comes to the AFCON, I think he and the latter years of Issa Hayatou, the past president, they did very well regarding the elevating the profile of the AFCON.
Well, no, but I don't know what you think about what Motsepe is trying to do with his tenure so far.
Well, I think he's just trying to be innovative. He's trying to add a bit more to African football to make it more entertaining, to get, as you have said, to get more people drawn to it. And the more you get people drawn to it, the more sponsors and the more influx of money you're able to get. So I think in his mind, he's running as a business, not just an entertainment.
He's a billionaire after all.
Exactly. So it's not just football to entertain people. That can get boring too. I think that's how he's doing it. He's just running as a business, making more appetizing for people, getting the sponsors, really in the cash.
So now let's check out your top four. Top four, let me start off with you. Champion.
Champion, I have to go with Morocco.
Morocco to win it.
I have to go with Morocco. Morocco, top four. Morocco, Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire.
Morocco, Senegal,
Côte d'Ivoire, and my dark horse pick, Mali.
Oh, where's Black Stars?
Oh no. Ghana will get eliminated at the round of 16 stage. We'll make it out of the group stage, but I don't think we'll qualify to the quarterfinal. Round of 16 stage.
Even that is questionable.
Pardon?
Even that is questionable.
Even that is questionable because I mean you never know. Cape Verde might end up surprising us with a draw or a win. Then you know if it's curtains against Morocco, then you never know. We'll be very desperate playing against Mozambique, and we'll leak in a lot of goals like we did against Comoros the last time because we were desperate.
I think the funny thing is, between the other two teams, Cape Verde and I think Mozambique, should any of them win that game between them, it puts us in a very difficult position.
And you see, what I like so much about our group is that Egypt gets to play Mozambique first. So we actually know how the results will go, and then we play later. I didn't feel easy. Our matches are always at 8, so probably we always have an idea of what
the Egypt Mozambique game is at 5 p.m. on Sunday.
So we probably always have an idea of what has already happened with the other two countries. But quick one on your top four.
Well, surprisingly for me, I would say I think Egypt should be able to win it.
Egypt to win it for an
I think the African gods should give Messi. Hey, should I say Messi?
Africa's Messi.
They should give Salah. They should give Salah the AFCON. I think that's the only thing that's left out of his locker for him to cement his.
And looking at the fact that probably this will be his last AFCON.
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I think he'll stick around for another AFCON.
For the next one, Morocco?
Against the one that will be held in Morocco, 2025. I think Mohamed Salah will stick around. Because he's that kind of athlete who stays in shape very well. He keeps himself very fit. And I think he will stick around. His playing style, I don't think it hurts him.
Has he been lost pace?
No, I don't. I think he's lost a step. I think he's lost a step.
Because I watch him, I don't see much of a difference. Especially what he does in the final third.
No, I think he's lost a step, but now he's made up for it by being more efficient than he was back in the day. And yeah, I see him sticking around for the 2025 edition that will be held in Morocco.
Okay, no, so you picked Egypt.
I picked Egypt.
Runner-up?
Runner-up.
So Egypt to win a trophy for you?
Yeah, I think Senegal should be in
Senegal. That's a repeat of the last final.
So this time around, he gets one over
the other way
Mali.
around, Egypt's winning.
And
that would be a revenge for them.
Exactly. I'll say Cote d'Ivoire should be in there because you know Africa, once the host goes out, nobody will go to the stadium. Yeah. So they should stay in at least to the end so that the whole frenzy and fans in the stadium should stay. And then I think Morocco should be in there, yes.
So you two, you've ruled out the Black Stars not to get into the top.
As I was saying, Black Stars. Nice. If the other two teams, someone wins from there, it will struggle. It will struggle.
All right, so, I mean, that's the guys. I mean, none of them had the Black Stars in the top 4. I don't know whether you have the Black Stars to make the top 4. And look, if the Black Stars actually make the top 4, I think it's a big achievement for us.
The top 4? Oh yeah,
if the Black Stars made it.
They would have overly achieved.
Yeah,
overly achieved.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's true.
Honestly, yeah,
if the Black Stars made the top 4, look, we should give them a hero's welcome.
Well,
should we? No. We don't celebrate mediocrity like that. I mean, Ghana has won 4 titles.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm saying that because of our performance.
How bad we have been.
I mean, we've dropped. Standards have dropped.
Yeah, the standards have dropped.
I think Black Stars will go as far as Kudus will carry them. That's how I see it.
And at this point in time,
if it's a group stage exit, that's what
group stage exit.
Yes. At this point in time, his availability is even questionable.
I think he's in training, right?
Yeah, he's trained for 2 straight days, but how effective would he be when he's carrying that kind of lingering injury? Yeah, that's one big question. That's one big question mark. And the thing is, with the Black Stars, let's say per what Newport did, if we go into a game where we know that Mozambique got a win or a point, or Cape Verde got a win or a point, and we have to absolutely get a result.
That's when we
looking at what the Black Stars has delivered over the past recent years. Would they be able to handle the pressure? Because I've seen this way too many times. Ghana against Comoros, all you needed to do was draw.
Yeah,
you didn't even need to win. All you needed to do was draw against Comoros.
One of the slots for the third place.
We ended up losing.
Yeah.
At the 2002 World Cup, all you needed to do was draw against Uruguay, and we ended up losing. So can the Black Stars deal with this kind of pressure when we absolutely have to deliver a result? I don't think so. Based on what we've seen in recent games under Chris Hughton, and based on history, our recent history when it comes to the Black Stars, I don't think so. Okay. So yes, how they deal with pressure is on the low side for me, and that's why that's why I don't see the Black Stars having a very deep run in this tournament. Progressing out of the group, yes, I see it, but round of 16, no. If they make it to the quarterfinal, that would be surprising to me. If they make it to the top 4, that's a heavy overachievement.
Okay, no, but just quick thoughts on Ghana's game against Cape Verde. It's later on Sunday, but do you think that Hughton must really start right against? How crucial of that game will it be?
I think he has to win.
Okay, he has to win against Cape Verde.
That's the game we actually need to win, because then if we do not win that and we lose against Egypt, then the pressure is back on us. Just like in the last time where we needed just a draw, we needed just 2 points to qualify, and we couldn't do that. So that game is the must win. Once we win that game, then you know at least you are 1 foot already in the next stage. If we are not able to win that game, should we lose or draw, that game against Egypt is going to be very, very difficult. Very. It's already difficult as it is.
Yeah.
So if we do not win against Cape Verde, I think we should just pack our bags and come home.
Well, I don't know what you think about the Black Stars' chances against Cape Verde. It's on Sunday at 8 p.m. at the Felix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium. Yeah, so that's Ghana taking on Cape Verde. Hopefully they rewrite the narrative of what happened in Cameroon. But remember that we've got live radio commentary for you on Citi 97.3 FM. Yes, not all the games, some selected games. So we'll keep you posted, we'll keep you updated on all our channels. So just follow us across all our social media handles. On Twitter, it's at Twitter also known as X. Yeah, it's Citi Sports GHA. On YouTube, you can also find us at Citi Sports Ghana. You can also head to our website, citisportsonline.com. We've got all the profiles of the team for you like what we did today on TV. Just go there, go check it out, and read everything you want to see, know everything you want to know about the countries who are going to participate at the AFCON, which will be kicking off in just some few hours later tomorrow in Cote d'Ivoire. It's been the AFCON Daily Show, our very first episode. I did this with Yao Ejeminta, Emmanuel Nuboy. There was earlier Bernard Abeku-Otre, who joined us to get into the conversation and bring you all the analysis or all you have to know about the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations, which is kicking off later tomorrow. But guys, many thanks for doing this.
Welcome.
We're back same time Monday to talk more. Yeah, so that's it in regards for today's show. My name is Gabi Ofer. We thank you out there for watching us. Don't change your dial. This is Citi TV. Keep safe.